Hi folks, welcome to my humble homestead in the forest and welcome to Christmas. No, it's not Christmas yet. We are a good month away from the first day of winter, but as we are in Canada, snow. I think last night we got about 7-8 inches of snow, whatever that works out to in centimeters. And today though, I want to talk about, kind of when in Rome, Christmas cactus. Christmas cactus, actually, as you can see, this is it. It is originally from Brazil, or as they say, Brazil. And it is a cactus, but it likes darker times, and when it blooms when it knows that it's getting darker and less light, and it probably prefers a little bit cooler temperatures too, as well as darkness, which is brilliant for this time of year when it's dark and cold and whatever in the house. And this beautiful plant starts to bloom. This I was introduced to it by my aunt. Shout out to Auntie, and my aunt here in Canada. And she had a big plant in front of her front window, and I think sometimes I will buy at this time of year a little pot of it in a different color, which brings me to this. They come in different colors. Fuchsia, or as they say in Netherlands, fuchsia. Family show, I know, but is my favorite color. They do come in sort of a peachy, pinky color, white, and the white one's really beautiful too. It's just, I need color. You can see, I need color. I'm in my cardinal outfit today. It is still snowing. Snow is dripping from the roof of the house onto the roof of where I'm in. That's the sound that you're hearing, by the way, because it's still, even though it's snowing, it's still mild enough at this time of year, which makes our snow very watery, very heavy right now. So twice a year, late fall and early spring, we get this heavy snow. For the rest of the time, it's super powdery, which is like 90% air. And when the temperature is way down, it's not, so it's nice out. See, I don't have my gloves on, a hood on, another jacket. So anyway, back to this. Yeah, the white one, although it's white, the flowers are white, it has a beautiful line, like a fuchsia line running through the flowers. Gorgeous. If you ever have a chance to, if you ever at your flower shop or one of those sort of a large grocery stores, they have the flower area, cut flowers or planted flowers or whatever. Not inspired, feeling like you want to do something different, you want to experimental, you can cross-pollinate these. So these two are the same, so there's nothing that you can do about it. By the way, aren't these little light bulbs beautiful? They look like, to me, like little happy lights, or you might call them Christmas lights. They start this tiny little light bulb. I'll bring it closer, and then they grow into this huge. Maybe next to my yellow, you can see how big it is. It's half the size of my hand. Not particularly fragrant, but I got some of the pollen on my nose, which is what I'm coming to. Cross-pollination is not. Don't be afraid of it. It's not a scary thing. All that it basically is, most of the time, is that you take a flower and you rub the stamen or the flag or whatever, I'll bring that close for you to see too. It's got a male and female, and you rub it on another flower of a different plant, a different color though. I mean, not a different plant. I mean, they're both Christmas cactus, but if these two were different colors, you wanted to get maybe a hybrid or a different color, and then figure out. You want to experiment, you can do it. Rub the two together, but when you do it, you write down on one of these segments. These are called segments. Let me see if I can put this down for a second. this Christmas cactus comes in segments. So for instance, this one here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's starting to divide into, say, has about 10 segments, right? And these segments do get bigger, like about this size. And on those, get a marker and write down the particular kind that you cross-pollinated with other ones. You don't have to take it out or anything. This is almost like you know how you, with apple trees in particular, you can graft. It's almost like that. So you're trying to mix two different things. So by writing with a marker on one of these segments, where it came from, and it takes a year. It takes time. A, you won't forget in a year what the heck you did, and B, a year from now, when that starts to bloom, say, oh wow, why is that one flower different? Then you'll remember that a year ago you did this, and there was a mix of those two. And you mark this down too on paper if you like, if you're really an enthusiast. And then you can also do the opposite. Go from this other plant to that one. So you know what I mean? So then you write on the segment of the other plant what you did, because each plant might react differently to a different flower. So for one, you're going from plant A to plant B, but at the same time you can go from plant B to plant A and not get the same results. Do you know what I mean? Exciting, I know, but do that, and then obviously they have to be different colors and different varieties. And in case you want to ever propagate them, also don't be afraid of propagating them, because all you're doing is that you don't have to be green thumb, any of that stuff. Even if you don't have, some people like to take an entire, like a branch of segments, dip them in rooting powder or some rooting powder, and then get your soil, poke your finger in it, however depth that you want, and put it in there, and then water it, and then they'll grow, no problem. Thing is that, folks, even if you don't have rooting powder, just try it anyway, because each plant can have potential to give you, just like in my garden, in my summer garden, each plant of anything, like tomato, from one seed you can get so many different things, or so many different tomatoes from one plant. This is the same thing. So don't be afraid to experiment, and you'll see. In fact, I'm looking at some of them already have their roots coming out. They're not even in the. They're not even. I don't know if you heard that. That might have been a jackal or a what do you call it? Coyote. Anyway, I will bring the camera over and I'll show you the roots that are already coming out. They're not even in the water or anywhere near water. And the house is in particularly moist because the stove is on. And it's actually, if anything, the house is dry at this time of year. Maybe yours too in the winter. So, just put that in the soil and in a root. Now, this is always, as always, with everything that I have that I can whatever I can do, it's free to my current and future friends. So if you like, we come in, and we have given away so many to the neighbors and that, but I don't know if theirs are alive or not, because they do require some love. And what do I mean by love is that although they require moist soil, like if the soil gets dry, they'll die. They do not like to have wet roots, wet feet. So they need to have decent drainage. So say this pot, this much here, is not all, shouldn't be all soil. The soil should come up to maybe about here. The bottom part, the bottom remaining part should be gravel or rocks or whatever, so the water can go down. And the roots of it itself won't go into that water because it doesn't like the wetness. So that's how you can care for it. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. I'm just going to bring the camera up and show you the roots that I was telling you about. Oh, one more thing that I forgot to tell you. If you want to do this, if you're a really purist and hardcore or whatever, if you want to grow these from seeds, you can. When these flowers die, it's not these. This is a dead flower, but there is a variety that has a flower this color, sort of a salmon. When you open it, so I put my glasses on. When you open it, there should be seeds in there. And these seeds are the seeds that you can save. Oh, I'm losing them. These are the seeds that you can save for next year or whatever to plant them. They take longer, but when they come up, they come up like sort of like how can I explain it? Like little tiny little gentle baby shoots of moss kind of thing, and then they're very delicate. They're hard to handle. You have to wait till they're much bigger that before you can handle. That's how delicate they are. I mean, you can do it. I've never done it like that. I think it's a lot of work, and I don't have patience, and I don't have, like a surgeon's hands or whatever. So I'm worried that I might damage them after all that time and effort. So let me just show you the roots before I go. So you see, those are roots. And again, on their own, I've not done anything to them. It's just coming out. And this is what I was telling you about the like the light bulb looking. Those tiny little bulbs, tiny little things will grow into being a full-size flower, which is like that one there. Gorgeous color. Oops, sorry. There. Well, I hope this was helpful to you.